give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, for his mercy endure forever. We want to welcome everyone in our Strongman Club today. May the Most High continuously bless our people and keep us strong as men of the Most High. You know, we have a special mission, which is to dominate, but first we have to learn how to take care of the family. So that being said, that's what we're here for. And this is what the Strongman Club is for, is to teach men on how to be real men. All praise be to the Most High. Let's get 1 Kings 2 verse 2 as we always do.
Kings chapter 2 verse 2. I know the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man.
That's right. So we go all the way of the earth. David said the best thing a man can do is not show yourself to be a sweet boy, not show yourself to be spineless and all loving and all without spine. That's what they taught us in this society. And men have to be all sweet. You understand? Just follow the woman lead, and they say happy wife, happy home. You understand? All these things have softened the men. But David said, listen, don't be afraid to show yourself a man, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Right? So be proud to be a man and show. Don't hide it. Show that you are a real man. So in that spirit, this is what we're here for, is to teach you on how to show it. Show it doesn't mean with fist. It means with wisdom, knowledge, understanding. So, Ba'ashem Yahushai, we're going to go over a wonderful lesson, brother. I'm excited about this lesson, man. And this lesson has been on my mind the whole week. So I know the Most High have something special for that lesson. So we will get right to it. So a lot of time, you know, we that have wives, we deal on a daily basis with our wives. So most of the time, you know, a lot of black men, we leave home because we can't take it no more. We can't understand a black woman. You know, a lot of time we say she's crazy. A lot of time, you know, we just avoid the home altogether. We come from work, we go to a friend's house, and we refuse to get to the house because we say the devil's in there. So most of the time, you know, we don't want to deal with no nonsense, especially after work when we're tired. You know, I can understand your pain, but as men, we have to know how to address these kind of situations so we don't abandon our families. Most of the time, the black man leave his home because of a woman that's always nagging. So how do we deal with that type of situation when a woman is talking to you and nagging? Well, as we mentioned before, if you haven't followed us, if it's this first time, or if you forget, the best choice, the best way to deal with a crazy woman is to not choose one in the first place. Okay? Okay. So that is settled. The best way to not deal with a crazy woman every day is to not choose one. So as we always mention, test your friend first. Take your time, get to know that lady. Don't be in a rush to get married. Don't be in a rush to do anything unless you fully understand that kind of woman. If you're in a rush, trust me, you will make mistake. Because acceleration do not go well with speed. So if you're speeding and you're accelerating, eventually you will fall flat on your face. So don't choose a crazy woman at the first place, because some women are crazy and there's nothing you can do about that, because their mind is just effed up and they're all the way messed up, and there's really not much you can do to change that woman. So that being said, we're dealing with a normal woman in her house. She's not that type that nagging all day. If you choose a nagger, I'm so sorry for you, my friend. You're gonna need a lot of fasting and prayer to get that woman straight. You know, but for you to have normal wives, but you know, when I say normal, doesn't mean they don't talk. They will talk, but they're not crazy, right? So you that have normal woman, so I'll show you how to navigate, through situation when she's upset. Okay, so that being said, brother, get me. We will give you 10 things to do when a woman is talking to you. 10 things you need to do. So number one, you need to be able to differentiate, put a difference between emotional lines and reasonable lines in a conversation. I'm going to repeat it again. I hope you guys taking notes. Okay. Put a difference between emotional lines and reasonable lines in a conversation. I hope every brother hear me. I want to hear Khan if we hear me. Anyone? I need a Khan. All right. So that's right. Put a big difference between what she's saying emotionally and what she's saying reasonably. Get me the book of Proverbs 17:27, my brother Shukwat. Let's read that, then we're going to break that down for you. Proverbs 17:27.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Walking like a king, heart steady like a drum.
Verse 27.
Bring it out.
He that hath knowledge spared his word, and a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit.
That's right. So a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit. It's a very smart and intelligent brother. Right? If you are a smart brother, there's nothing your wife will say that you will not both cut her in what she's trying to bring out. Even if she's using indirect languages, you're going to cut her in that. And there's no way you won't cut her in the nonsense, right? But you must be of an excellent spirit, right? The Bible says, and if you're an excellent spirit, what you do, brother, the first sentence, brother Shukwat, he that have knowledge, what he does?
He that hath knowledge spared his word.
That's right. So if you have knowledge, what you will do, you will spare your words. But this is a big problem in the black community, especially with black men. You talk more than your wife. A lot of us really talk more than our wives. Again, the Most High create everything opposite to each other, a man and a woman. If the woman talk too much, you shouldn't be talking too much. Look at how a woman operate, and you shouldn't be the same way. If your wife is talking too much, you shouldn't be the one talking too much. And this is the huge problem in our community among our men. Again, maybe we were raised, with women. So a lot of time, we tend to take on all these feminine attributes. But as men of the Most, I'm telling you, if you have understanding, if you're a real man, you spare your words. You don't speak like your wife. You don't speak too much like your woman. That's the number one thing. If you speak too much, you will solve nothing. It's always gonna be problems. I can't stand it when I see a brother stand there with a woman yapping all day, trying to be right in the face of a woman. No. You shouldn't be talking more than your wife. In fact, you should speak way less. But what you say actually means something. And how do you figure out what to say when you're speaking to a woman? Well, listen to what she's saying. Be able to put a difference between emotional lines and reasonable lines. So basically, not every statement needs reactions. Separate between emotional venting from actual concerns that need addressing. So when the woman is talking to you, she's hurt. But in that midst of hurt, women love to attack emotionally. I'm going to say that again. When a woman talking to you, she loves to vent. Right? She loves to She love to attack you in the emotional venting that she's doing. But how do you, as a man, how do you deal with it? Do you go toe to toe with your woman? In every attack she gives you, you have to literally give an answer. This is where men have to be more excellent than women. You cannot act like a woman, and a lot of times these emotional attacks will cause you to act like a woman. And I'm going to give you some examples shortly of what I mean. Right? Give me one quick second. Because this is what you brothers need to learn. Be able to differentiate between what she's saying, between the emotions and the logic. Everything she's saying is because there's something she's trying to make a point. But give me 1 second, right quick, brothers. Right. So now let's say if you're talking to your wife, right? She said, you never listen to me. You only care about yourself. A lot of you know what you do? You'd focus on you only care about yourself. And from there, you as a man, you'd start, oh yeah, I care. And you start giving example about how much you care. You just put fuel in the fire. If you pay attention to the logical line in this sentence, you never listen to me, you only care about yourself. Can somebody please, can a brother tell me which line is emotional and which line is logical? I want to hear somebody. This is an exercise. It's not going to be only me talking tonight. You never listen to me, you only care about yourself. Which brother can tell me which one in those lines is, which one is emotional? Sorry, brothers. So which brother can tell me which line is emotional and which line is logical or reasonable? You never listen to me. You only care about yourself. Go ahead, brother Sirach.
You only listen to me.
That's right.
You only care about yourself is emotional.
That's right. Right? So you only care about yourself. Usually, when the emotional lines come, it's only you. It's attacking you directly. You only care about yourself. It's all a personal attack. They're attacking you. You never listen to me. But what most men do, they focus. A lot of time, it takes a lot of restraint for you as a man to not focus on emotional. Because if you are emotional, brother, trust me, you're going to go right where it says you only care about yourself. Trying to show you that you don't really care about yourself. But what you need to focus on is you never listen to me. But when you really follow the lines, the emotional lines, what she really means is like, I feel my concern about the bills haven't been taken seriously. She's just saying, I feel like my concern is not being taken seriously. That's what she's saying. But if you're a man that's emotional, you're gonna stay right where it says you never listen to me. You're gonna skip that part. You're gonna go straight where where it says you only care about me. But if you're a man, when you're listening to a woman, the reasonable part, what you're doing, you're interpreting it. You're trying to translate it. You translate it into what she really means. Okay, you can say in your heart, what does it mean you never listen to me? Do I never listen? You see, the word never here is an emotional trigger too. It can trigger because you can start focus on the word never and be like, I never listen to you. Of course I listen to you. Let me show how many times I listen to you. But don't focus on the emotional triggers. Focus on what she's trying to say. She's saying like, I feel like my concern, you're not hearing me. I feel like every time I bring my concern to you, you're not listening to me. Or at least at that moment, I feel like you're not listening to me. That's all she's saying. Women are emotional. You can't change that. It's not that you're babysitting them because that's their nature. They're very emotional creatures. But you have to set the tone for both yourself and your wife to learn how to communicate. So in that case, what would you respond is, hey, I hear you. Let's sit down and go through the bills together so I can understand your concerns. You see that? Get me Proverbs 15 verse 1, brother Shukwat, please.
Yeah. Walking like a king, heart steady like a drum. 1 Kings 2:2, that's where I'm coming from. Be strong, stand tall, let the world understand. Wisdom in my veins, gotta show myself a man.
A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger.
That's right. So you as a man, and this is gonna be our second point, right? In our lesson today, right? I'm gonna show you where the second point is: do not feed emotions. Focus on what is reasonable. So a lot of time, what women do, we fuel the emotions instead of us trying to solve the problem as men, as real leaders that take lead, that as the adult in the room. What we do, we fuel the emotions. We focus on the attacks. Now it takes a real man to be able to take attacks and not retaliate and trying to really solve the problem. Because I've been there myself. I have a wife. Sometimes, hey, you know, it's really trying to get to me too. I'm really being forced. It's like I'm being forced to answer the emotional attack. And I have to really hold myself. I'm like, don't do it. Because there's an emotion in me that says, she's attacking, you need to attack back. But I realize, wait a minute, I'm the head of the house. I'm the man. I can't answer like a woman. So let me focus on what's more important. So what's more important in this sentence here, right? The answer I give is, I hear you. First, I make sure, because I already understand what she's saying, that I'm not being heard. That's all she's saying, but she's attacking you in the process. So because I understand she's saying I'm not being heard, the first thing I say is, I hear you. Immediately I say I hear you, it makes her know that I'm listening to you. Let's sit down and go through the bills together so I can understand your concerns. So now, instead of me tiptoeing around the subject, I go straight to the bills, because I know that's the subject she's talking about. Okay, baby, it's okay. You know what? I probably didn't take the time to listen to you for real. Let's sit down and go over the bills again so I can understand what's your concern. So I'm really focusing on the solution. But many men can't do that. They would rather focus. That's why you got men going back and forth with the woman, because they cannot control their mind and emotion to actually focus on the solution. They're acting like women. Those are feminine attributes for you to be going back and forth with a woman. So now, the second thing we need to understand. The second one was, do not feed emotions. Focus on what is reasonable. Get me Proverbs 26 verse 20, brother Shokwat, please. The book of Proverbs 20 verse 26. 26 verse 20. I'm sorry. Proverbs 26 verse 20.
Stands firm, even when he's alone. They hate to see us rise, but the fire's in my soul.
26, verse 20. Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceases.
Right, where no wood is, the fire goes out. That wood is the fuel. So that's what we're talking about. Do not feed emotions. Do not feed. Listen, brothers, if you don't hear anything I'm saying tonight, hear this. Do not feed no woman emotions. Don't do it. I know you'll be tempted. I know she'll attack you. She'll say certain things, and you'll have the urge to answer. But be the grown-up, be the adult, be the man, be the leader in the head. Resist that urge to defend yourself against emotional attacks, because all that does is more fuel to the fire. And you guys know what I'm talking about. I mean, anytime you're in some kind of argument with your wife, and she says something, in the way you answer, you attack her back, then she's gonna attack back, you're gonna attack back, it's gonna be chaos. We need men of old were never like that. We never had men that sit there head toe to toe with a woman, back to back, Because even in Peter's, it tells you, not there's a word it used, right? Not head to head, fighting fist with fist, toe to toe, right? Teeth for teeth, tat for tat. We never had men like that, and this is why ancient men wrote and taught us, don't do it as a man, right? Because at the end of the day, women are created emotional, and if you feed it, you just like the woman. And the woman will not respect you. A woman respects a man that say little and that really say what he has to say. Not a man that goes toe to toe with her, like, you like a damn woman. Right? So just don't put wood in the fire. Quench it. Don't answer to the emotional attacks. Quench it. So basically, responding to raw emotion adds fuel to the fire. Stick to the point that can be resolved. You're a man. Don't focus on the attacks. When she's emotional, she's just looking for help. She's crying out for help. And all that can come out, unfortunately, is insult. Right? A lot of time it's insult. But as a man, a lot of time, most of the time, 100% of the time, in fact, you need to be able to differentiate between emotions and reason. Now, there's a time to address the insult, though. Right? But as the Bible says, there's a time for everything. Maybe afterwards, you will come back, and when things are calmed down, you're in a good environment. This is when you're going to tell your wife, listen, this is the best way to do it. If you're concerned about something, come straight. I did not like what you did. I did not like that. But if you see she's getting more emotional again, it's not time yet. Leave it up. Try again another time. Again, make sure you're not feeding emotions in the whole process. But always address what don't make you happy. I'm not saying don't address it, but there's a better time for it. Okay? So now, next, the third point we have to speak on is let her talk. Most of the time, she will reveal the real truth. Be patient. Let me tell you something about human. One thing I realize, most of the time, they will come to the same conclusion as you. If you simply let them talk, a lot of you, it's time you'll say women talk a lot, but it's a great thing. If you just sit there, let them talk and talk and talk and talk, eventually they'll come to the same conclusion as you. Most of the time. You don't even have to make a point. Just sit there and okay. So how do you feel about this? Okay. And she'll keep talking and keep talking. Eventually, you'll get to a point where she said exactly what you wanted to say. And if you don't trust me, try it. If you have a wife at home, she's arguing about something, after you finish making your point, let her talk. She will talk, she'll talk, and at the end, she'll come to the same conclusion as you, and fight is over. She just wanted to talk. Right? So, just be patient. Get me James 1 verse 19. James 1 verse 19. Book of James 1 and 19, Brother Shukbat, when you're ready.
Reading from the book of James, chapter 1, verse 19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear and slow to speak, slow to wrath.
That's right. So let every man be slow to speak. Because again, if you are slow to speak, what's going to happen? You will have time to formulate your thoughts. Meanwhile, the person will have time to talk. Sometimes they just want to vent, but they know the truth anyway. So a lot of time they'll come to it. You don't have to argue and say, oh, that's my point, that's my point. Trust me. There's a better way. Let them talk, and you're gonna slowly direct them toward the truth. So listening patiently gives space for the truth to surface without you forcing it. So just let them talk, and that gives them that brings us to the next one. Ask emotional questions that trigger talking, then redirect toward truth. So when you're talking to a woman, right? So you know what you're saying is true. Don't worry about it. All you gotta do is, once you get a chance, ask them little questions, especially emotional questions. So how do you really feel about this? So what you're doing, a lot of time, if you feel like they're losing it, you're just asking little questions to redirect them toward the truth. You don't have to fight them. You ask them questions. So if you see they're leaving the subject, by example, we're talking about we should not eat pork, right? And they start talking, I know God love everybody. God want everybody to eat whatever's on the planet and stuff like that. So how do you feel about Leviticus 11:7? Well, I see what the word is saying. Can you please read it? Okay, let me read it. Yes, I see what the word is saying. Do not eat pork, but that's a long time ago. So you're like, does the Most High change? Yeah, I don't think the Most High changed and stuff like that. Then they'll keep going. Then eventually they'll realize on their own, you know what? I know God don't change and stuff like that. I think you're right. We shouldn't eat pork. So a lot of time, what you will be doing is ask smart questions that will really redirect that person and make them start, maybe I'm wrong in my thinking, right? And let them find the truth for themselves. A lot of time, what we do instead, we arguing. Yes, the Most High said not to eat pork. Let me show you that verse. Let's go to that precept. A lot of time, you just let them rant and interject little questions in that, and eventually by themselves they'll find the truth. I hope everybody is with me on that one, right? So don't always try to educate. Don't always try to make people see the truth. A lot of time, direct them to find the truth themselves, especially when you're arguing with a woman, right? So now, next. I'm sorry, brother. I had to laugh at some right quick. But next thing we need to know as a man. So we do not feed emotions. The next one is keep your composure and ignore emotional attacks. So get me Sirach, get me the book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 28:11.
Chapter 28, verse 11.
Right, go ahead.
And hasty contention kindleth a fire, and a hasty fighting sheddeth blood.
Right, so the next thing is to keep composure and ignore emotional attack. Again, a lot of time when you're speaking to a woman, she will attack you emotionally. And let me give you a good example of that, right? Let's say you're speaking to a woman and she says something like that. Why do I even bother talking to you? Right? So she's angry. She say, why do I even bother talking to you? But a lot of you would look at that like, dang, that's an insult. Right? I need to respond to that. I need to show her that I don't care too. That's a lot of men. But what she's trying to say is like, I'm not sure you understand my point. It's frustrating me. So she's just saying I'm frustrated because you're not understanding me. That's how you should translate it. But the way she said, why do I even bother talking to you? She's just saying, I'm not getting to you, you're not understanding me, and I'm getting frustrated. So the best answer would be, help me understand your point clearly so I don't miss anything important. So as we can see here, instead of you reacting to the insult, right? Stay calm, ignore the insult, disarm the argument. Let me say that again. Stay calm, ignore the insult, disarm the argument. So that's why the Bible says hasty contention kindle a fire. Because the last thing you want to do as a man is start hating your woman because she gives some personal attack. Then next thing you know, you'll start boxing and they're fighting. Because most of the time, you the one that's going to pay the price as a man. You're going to go to jail if you put your hand on that woman. And nobody going to, even if she attack you first physically, a lot of time, you're going to go down because you're a man. Just because you're a man. It's unfair, I know. But you shouldn't get to that point as a wise man to hit your woman. Because if you understand how to navigate through the conversation and not responding to the insult, keeping your composure, you shouldn't get to that point. Don't be hasty in contention, but before you know it, as the Bible say, in hasty fighting shed blood. Before a lot of time, men kill women in that regard, because the woman insult them, they feel insulted, and they focus on the emotional aspect, and before boom boom, somebody got killed. So yes, brothers, keep your composure, and don't let emotion lead you. Don't fuel the emotion, and don't keep your. I know a lot of time it's gonna eat you inside, cause she says something insulting. Man, I feel like responding. I feel like no, don't go with your feeling. A woman is supposed to be emotional. You're supposed to be the reasonable. Then why would the Most High put you the head over the woman if you know better than the woman? This is what I'm trying to say. If you're not better than the woman, why is the Most High putting you over that woman? If you're doing the same thing she's doing, you have to be the light. You have to be the difference. You have to be the man. And men don't lead with emotion. We lead with logics, with understanding, wisdom. You understand? So don't keep your composure and don't be a woman. The next thing we need to understand. Tell people the truth without expecting to be right. So that's the next thing. The 7th point we're making here. Tell people the truth without expecting to be right. So a lot of time, I'd get me 2 Timothy 2 verse 24, brother. 2 Timothy 2, 24 and 25. Second Timothy 2 verse 24.
Chapter 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 24.
Yes, and 25.
Okay, come. Reading from the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 25. In meekness, instructing those that oppose themselves, if the Most High peradventure will give them repentance to the acknowledging of the truth, and that they may recover themselves out of the snare of the devil, who are taken captive by him at his will.
Right. So again, tell people the truth without expecting to be right. So a lot of time, that's another thing that sometimes is not because you're not right, brother, but is the way you trying to push the truth so hard on that person. It sounds more like you're trying to be right than trying to instruct somebody. When you go to school, the teacher don't keep repeating themselves just to show they have knowledge. They just tell you what they gotta tell you, and that's it. And that's the characteristic of a man. The Bible says men must be grave and serious. So you meeting a woman, she's saying a bunch of stuff. You tell what you gotta tell, and that's it. You don't have to keep saying a bunch of different. Say what you need to say. Say exactly what you need to say. Right? That's it. And once you finish saying what you gotta say, that's it. You don't have to keep talking. Let the woman talk. Let her spend 2 hours, 3 hours. Focus on what is the truth, and you tell her the truth. Focus on the reasonable lines. Excuse me? Right, okay. So focus on the reasonable part of the conversation and tell the truth. What you need to tell, and that's it. You don't need to keep going and going trying to be right. This is a mistake a lot of men make. It's not that they don't hear you. It's not that you had some, brother Sirach?
Yes, sir. What was the precept on that again?
The precept is 2 Timothy 2 verse 24-25. Right? So you don't have to be right, brother. You don't have to be right. Say what you got to say and leave it at that. Right? So that was the next point. Truth is powerful when delivered humbly. The aim is resolution, not victory. Now, there's something you need to also understand, brothers. Let's say if your woman keep coming up with the same thing every day. A lot of time our women will do that. What is the best plan? The best plan is write it down for them. I know a lot of you might not know that. If a woman keep asking you the same question, the best thing to do is write it down. Give them a piece of paper. Keep track of the questions they ask. Put the question down and put the answer down. And keep that paper with them. So let me tell you, there's a strong proverb that say, words go, but writing stay. So a lot of time, if the person keep coming up with the same questions, it's best to write it down for them. So like that, they have the record, right? So I hope every brother hear that. If a sister keep coming with the same question, the same situation every day, and a lot of time they do it, write it down for them and give them a copy. Every question they ask, write it down and give them a copy. So like that, so they don't keep coming up with the same thing. That's another strategy to not keep arguing with somebody because you're trying to be right every time. Write your answers down. So I hope people take note on that. Okay. Next thing is don't use words to offend people. Get me Ephesians 4 verse 29, brother. Ephesians 4 verse 29. Don't use your words to offend people or to offend your wife. Ephesians 4:29.
4 verse 29. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers.
Right. So let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth. This is the big problem. Another problem a lot of our men have too. So emotional, a lot of time we start cursing her out. I've seen men standing and cursing women out, bro. Again, I just don't know the difference between that man and that woman. Brothers, don't fall in that low category, please. I beg you. Don't be so low. Don't fall so low to be cursing with a woman. Don't do it. It just makes you look bad. You think you're trying to degrade that woman, it makes you look bad. And because any real man, I'm going to tell you that, it's not, emotional men will think you're right. But any real man going to say you off. There's no reason why you should be cursing with a woman. No, absolutely no reason for you to be telling women words that you shouldn't be saying. And in fact, you should not even let any corrupt communication come out of your mouth. But a lot of time, this is a big mishap that men does, that a man can do when he's talking to a woman and then, he start cursing out. It shows you have no self-control. It shows you're not a good leader. It shows you cannot lead that woman. You're just degrading yourself as a leader, as a head, in front of that woman. You think you're doing something good, you're not. You're just telling that woman that I'm as emotional as you, I'm a woman and I'm not a real man. Because the Bible says men have to be temperate, meaning having self-control. Right? So you cannot let that happen when you're talking to a woman. And a lot of time, why that happen? Because you focus too much on the emotional aspect. And a lot of time, the Bible says men have to be patient. You don't have that patience to sit there and listen. You don't have the composure to go through the personal attacks and actually solve the situation. Right? So they always say curses, bad words is the language of fools. So when the fool have nothing else to say, he resort to insults. That's what fools does. But we're not fools. We strong men by Hashem Yahushua. So we cannot resort to violence. We cannot resort to cursing because we don't know how to address our wives. And I'm going to tell you something. If you don't know what to say, be quiet. That's the next point. If you don't know what to say, be quiet. It's better to be silent, right? Done sitting there trying to curse somebody out, right?
Proverbs 24 strength wrapped in the wise, vision clear as day.
Give me 1 second.
Structure in my steps, no stumble, no fall. Lead the family forward, I answer the call. They fear the strength cause it shakes their schemes. Hating from the sidelines, interrupting the dreams. But your hour made us leaders, the design.
And I'm gonna get that. Get me the Apocrypha, brother. Give me 1 second. Get me Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus 20 verse 5 right quick.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 20 verse 5.
Yes.
Reading from the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 20 verse 5. There is one that keepeth silent and is found wise, and another by much babbling becoming hateful.
Right. So there's one that hold his tongue is become wise. Right? Get me Ecclesiasticus 5 verse 12. That's really what I wanted. Ecclesiasticus 5 verse 12 and 13. That's actually our last point for tonight.
Reading from the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 5 verse 12.
Go ahead.
If thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth.
Right. So read that again, brother. Please read that again.
Reading from the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 5 verse 11. Right?
Verse 12.
And verse 12. Sirach. If thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth.
If you don't know what to say, be quiet. That's what the scripture is saying. So if you don't know how to answer a question at that moment, answer it later. You don't have to answer it. You don't have to answer it now. If you don't know how to answer it, sleep on it. Think about it. Tell your wife, listen, I do hear you, but I need to think about this. If you feel like you can control your emotion at the moment, just tell your wife, hey, listen, let me answer you because I need to really think about what you're saying. But in no means lose your composure and make a fool of yourself. So that being said, brothers, what we learned today is three main things. If I can summarize it in three things. Number one, when you're talking to a woman, understand those lines that are emotional, understand the lines that are reasonable. Number two things you need to retain. Do not feed your woman emotion. No matter what, keep your composures. Ignore and forgive personal attacks, right? Number three, say only what you need to say. And those things you don't know, be quiet. Say only what you need to say, and those things you don't know, be quiet. So if I can summarize it in those 3 points, really, that's what it comes down to. Understand emotional lines and reasonable lines. Do not fuel the emotions. Understand what to say what is necessary, and be quiet if you don't know the rest. So those 3 things, if you forget everything, remember those 3. So now at that moment, we'll take a couple questions, comments. What you guys think? What is the lesson for the youth? We always do that. We want all of you to participate as much as possible. We have 10 minutes, and we'll take that 10 minutes to talk a little bit.
Very good class.
Oh, very good, very good.
Guys, not very good class. We need comments. We need more in terms of substance. What did you like? What can we learn? How did that lesson benefit you? And what mistakes we made maybe that we need to change in ourselves. So go ahead.
One mistake I used to make is going back and forth, trying to get my point across. and feeding into their emotions. So I could definitely understand where we're not supposed to feed into the emotions and not supposed to take it all the way left. So it's good to be quiet, listen, and then come back a little bit later when everything is calmed down and speak without the anger and the emotions involved. So yeah, I definitely understand.
Khan, all praises. Go ahead, Elder Mika.
Well, you know, like you said, don't learn that person first. Take your time and, you know, get to know each other. And, you know, when you do get into that argument, don't go to bed with that same, I can't call the scripture right now, but it's scriptures they don't go to bed with the argument. Don't, what is that scripture? But it's basically saying,
That's Ephesians 4:26. Be
Right,
angry
right,
and sin not, let not the sun go down upon thy wrath.
exactly. So yeah, definitely don't do that. So, you know, if you have an argument, you know, y'all talk it out before the sun go down, and then, you know, pray on. Sometimes it could be you, sometimes it could be her, but, you know, once y'all talk about it, and a lot of times me and my wife would laugh, be in the bed laughing about it. We was arguing about that? Really? And it really, you look at it, it really didn't make no sense at the time. But, you know, I mean, a lot of times when you look at the arguments, and then if you arguing back with her over something silly, you got to look at yourself. Because who's the weaker person? You are. So if you arguing back over something silly, then hey, you might have to step back and look at yourself.
Khan.
Might have some tendencies that you ain't know you had.
Khan. That's right. And one thing I want to tell brothers, if one day I end up going to a situation with you and your wife, and I realize you are talking so much, don't be surprised. I tell you, brother, you going off, because a lot of you more emotional than your wife, because you expect me to come in and be like, your wife was wrong, but a lot of time, most of the responsibility is on your shoulder, brother. If you sit there going back and forth with your wife, and I realize that you created a mess instead of keep control of the situation, you're gonna get blamed. You're the man. You need to clean that mess up. You should be the one in control of emotions. But if I realize you were the one going back and forth, the first time I'm like, you're going off. Don't hate me for that, because I'll tell you exactly, hey, you're going off. Especially if you're part of this strongman club. I hope y'all do better. Who's next? Hey, who's next? Anyone?
Girls, brothers asleep.
They're not sleeping.
Yeah, that's a good lesson though, but a lot of time, if you're not born with something like the calmness, if you're not some men not born with it, whenever the woman says something, you're itching inside, they just wanna say something. Like me, it's sometimes even like since I was a young kid, I'm not the type of guy that actually like use emotion too much. But some women or some men try my patience, my emotion, I could blow up. But you gotta be able to control it. You gotta go. Sometimes it's not like the minister say, it's not always the time to actually react to say something. Sometimes you might say, okay, I talk to you later about that. Sometimes you have to ask questions. But if if you the type of guy, whenever somebody says something, you have to give an answer or say something. Yeah, you always gonna have to go. You always gonna go back and forth with, especially women. Women, as long you fit the emotion, they gonna talk. And even according to study, they say a woman, average woman speak 20,000 words a day. The average man speak 16,000 words. I mean, if you speak more than 20,000 words, I don't know, you above average of a woman. You gotta change.
Con, all praises. So next question I want to ask while we at it, we still got 4 minutes left. So what can a man really do to stop himself from reacting, especially to emotional attacks? So what do you think a man can do in that moment? Because a lot of time it's really itching you to answer. So what can we do as men? What technique can we use to be like, to not answer, to not respond to that urge? Anyone can answer, and unmute yourself, please.
Fight or flight. Walk away.
I can't hear you, brother.
Fight or flight. Just that means that you walk away. You come back at a better time.
Right. Okay. You walk away. What else, brother? Anybody got some technique on how to not respond to those attacks?
Me, what I usually do everywhere people attack me, everywhere people try to say lower me down or that, I actually say, man, alright guys, I know you try to, because first thing first I do personally, because I say, okay, alright, what you wanna say about that? What you wanna say? What make you say that? I say, what make you say that? And sometimes they slow down or they actually act like they don't know. I say, first thing first, what make you say that? Like just like a guy I was in my job, he try to say, okay, I'm the worst mechanic. I don't know anything. Even for free, he won't make me fix his car. I say, okay, first of all, what make you say that? And second of all, if you know how to fix your car, this is good for you. I don't need you. I say there's million people in the world that actually don't know how to fix car. I'm here for those people to help. If you don't want my help, it's okay. And he actually was, he was kind of calm down. He don't want to say anything. Everybody look at him crazy. Everybody that. But first thing I say, what make you say that?
Right. So that's a good technique. Okay, so we have walk away, we have what make you say that. So what other technique, brothers? Listen, when you guys speak, there's new technique that come up that we all can learn from. What do you usually do for you not to respond to attacks? We have 1 minute left, brothers. One last person.
Listen.
Go ahead, elaborate on that, brother.
Learn to listen and learn. A lot of times you'll miss out. If you're going back and forth, you'll miss out on the real, what it might be something on your end that you're not doing.
Come on.
So you have to learn to listen and listen to learn.
Right, Khan. Elder, while you're here, what do you think of Elder Abraham point to walk away? Do you think that's a good idea in most cases? You hear, brother Mika? Do you think it's a good idea to walk away? in most cases.
Walk away.
Right.
Walk away, because a person, a person don't like to stand there and talk to themselves. But when you walking away, it's letting them know that, you're not walking away because you're scared. You're just walking away because you might be angry, she might be angry. So yeah, walking away is a great idea.
Okay, so one thing I would like to add to walking away, brothers. It's always good to do it politely. Don't just turn your back and walk away. It's best to say, "Hey, baby, I noticed you're angry. So why don't we take a break for 30 minutes and we come back? Why don't we take a break for 5 minutes?" Right? So a lot of time it's best to communicate why you're walking away, because a lot of women actually have problem with you just turning your back, and they look at that as you don't respect them and humiliating and all kind of stuff. That can actually create more problem for you. So I don't want that for you in your relationship, to just walk away. But kindly explain, "Hey, I notice we angry. I notice you angry. I'm gonna take it 5 minutes so I don't say something I don't mean to say. So I'll just walk away right quick. But it's not disrespecting you. I just need to control myself." So that's a better way to walking away instead of just turning your back. So it's just an advice on that. But all praises to the Most High. It's actually 10:02. We wanna make an announcement to all brothers. Don't leave as